Imagine being able to test the effectiveness of a new medication without putting patients through the rigors of a clinical trial. Sounds like science fiction, right? Well, thanks to a team of researchers at the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine, this is now a reality. Led by Emma Maud Powell, the team used real-world clinical data to emulate a randomized controlled trial, comparing the effectiveness of two blood thinners, apixaban and warfarin, in preventing stroke in patients with non-valvular atrial fibrillation. But what does this mean, and how did they do it?
Atrial fibrillation is a type of irregular heartbeat that can increase the risk of stroke. To prevent this, patients are often prescribed blood thinners like apixaban or warfarin. The problem is, clinical trials often exclude certain groups of patients, such as the elderly or those with multiple conditions. This means that we don't always know how well these medications will work in real-world scenarios. That's where this study comes in. By using routinely collected health data from patients in the UK, the researchers were able to create a virtual trial that mimicked the conditions of a real clinical trial.
So, what did they find? Well, the results were interesting. Patients who were prescribed apixaban had similar outcomes to those who were prescribed warfarin. This might not seem like a big deal, but it's actually a significant finding. In previous clinical trials, apixaban had been shown to be superior to warfarin in preventing stroke. But in this real-world study, that wasn't the case. The researchers think that this might be due to a few factors, including the quality of warfarin control and the way that apixaban was dosed. They also found that the patients in the study were more ethnically diverse than those in the original clinical trial, which could have affected the results.
So why is this study so important? Well, for one thing, it shows that we can use real-world data to get a more accurate picture of how medications work in real-world scenarios. This is especially important for patient groups that are often excluded from clinical trials. By using this type of data, we can get a better understanding of how medications will work in these patients and make more informed decisions about their treatment. It's also a more cost-effective and efficient way to test medications, which could lead to faster development of new treatments.
But what does this mean for the future of clinical trials? Well, it's likely that we'll see more studies like this in the future. By using real-world data, we can create virtual trials that mimic the conditions of real clinical trials. This could revolutionize the way that we test medications, making it faster, cheaper, and more effective. And who knows, it could even lead to the development of new treatments that we never thought possible.
In conclusion, this study is a game changer. It shows that we can use real-world data to get a more accurate picture of how medications work in real-world scenarios. It's a more cost-effective and efficient way to test medications, and it could lead to faster development of new treatments. So the next time you hear about a new medication being tested in a clinical trial, remember that there might be a better way. A way that uses real-world data to get real-world results.